GM Crypto News now here. It is February 27th, and before I get on this video, please read the description below on the take of the shilling of the tokens. So let's talk about the price action of the majors. So I am going to give you guys some bad news once again. So last few days, Bitcoin has been down only, and I just want to say that the daily close for the 26th closed below the 200-day EMA, which is around 85.6K. And you know what happens last time when we closed below a pretty important EMA here of around the 100-day EMA, we closed below that, and guess what happened? It went down another leg. Now we're closing below another important support. So you can think of the EMAs as supports essentially and resistance. They're just the average price, and the fact that it's below it means it could go lower. So on the weekly, I'm not saying it will go lower, but just based off how these EMAs work, that's usually how it works. And we still have room to go lower to 76K based off the weekly EMA. So on the daily, well, the fact that we closed below the 200-day is not great, but that doesn't mean that we will go down to 70s, but the fact that we did close below it increases the probability. So again, don't get too horny about this. Don't deploy all your capital, all this DCA over the next couple or so. And yeah, I mean, it's not guaranteed to happen to go to 70s, I would say, like 76K based off the weekly EMA here, but it's definitely a possibility. And if it doesn't hold that, then bull market is canceled, unironically. But the fact remains that there's still a higher probability that currently around here is a bottom for the prices. Maybe you could cope a bit, but I don't know. The fact it closed daily below it is just kind of sus. But in any case, you just dollar cost average. We're probably not going to have a V-shaped recovery anytime soon, and it's most likely going to be low volatility. And if not that, then another leg down possibly. So I just want to say that that's my own opinion on it. Of course, you could disagree with me if you want, but yeah, I mean, Bitcoin has been wanting a relief rally pretty soon. So maybe it'll just touch that level later, and then we'll see a bit of a relief rally for now, and then we could see what happens. But yeah, liquidation heat map wise, well, a lot of liquidity is more stacked to 87K, supporting the hypothesis that we could see a relief rally on Bitcoin, at least like about $2,000 or so. So that might be interesting to see. So let's look at the price action of the altcoins. So pretty noticeable strength here is King on the base AI. So this is forming a quite a obviously some sort of the cock and balls pattern here. I'm not really sure what to call it, but there's the balls, there's the cock, and then there's the balls, and then usually some sort of a parabolic move. It's formed some sort of structure like that. I'm not saying they will play out like that, but it's quite interesting to see the strength on this while the market is shitting the bed on King here. Maybe it's just some super overbought condition in the temporary, and its competitor AION's not really moving that much, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but King's chart looks better than AION for now at least. But a lot of tokens on base AI, nothing really too crazy. Okay. This is kind of interesting to see what happens with music here. So maybe there's an announcement. But if we look at Solana AI, a lot of things are down as well. So Audic as well. A little bit of a pullback today. Hopefully this is a bottom on it. I mean, it's been going sideways. I'm not really trying to time bottoms or tops on this right now. But a lot of tokens, some of them are green, some of them are red. Most of them are red though. Even the meme coins. Popcat's a little strong on the day though. And if you look at the base memes, well, yeah, a little bit of red overall. Nothing too crazy to say here. So let's look at the tweets here. So promise, execution, tariffs. So here's Donald Trump. He's essentially promising before the election that, oh, we're going to pump Bitcoin to the moon. It's going to $1 million. Let's fucking go. And then the execution is that, fuck you. I'm doing tariffs on everyone. And now Bitcoin is falling down the cliff as we see Bitcoin. And this is attributed because of Donald Trump's tariff policies recently, because I think I explained in the previous video, but I believe that the tariff policy, if he enacts tariffs, is that I'm pretty sure the dollar gets weaker overall, if that's the case. I mean, in the long term, that's actually good for Bitcoin, but in the short term, it could raise some sort of a risk-off environment amongst people, because if he enacts tariffs on other people, then that means there's less money for people to spend on risk-on assets. I think that's the reason why. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I would actually really welcome it, but I think that's the argument for it. But regardless, the tariffs here, Donald Trump, he did promise on doing tariffs, but I don't know why the markets are reacting in such a way. They're like, oh, wait, he's actually delivering on his tariffs. Oh my gosh. But let's look at this. Over the last few weeks, Uniswap SEC case drop, Coinbase SEC case drop, OpenSea SEC case drop, Consensus SEC case drop, meme coins with NFTs not ruled as securities. There's no time to be bearish. Next few years will be quite incredible for crypto innovation. Yeah, so these regulation things are quite good because that means there's less of the government trying to get on crypto's ass, like on the DeFi sector, and that meme coins aren't securities anymore. That means they're going to be less interested in probably enacting some sort of a policy like higher taxes or whatnot on meme coins. So meme coins could possibly have a different tax bracket compared to other assets, which would allow them to be more attractive to retail investors. So that could pump meme coins at least in the mid long term. But as you guys can see from the price action of a lot of tokens, meme coin majors, it hasn't really reacted that well to that news yet, which is a little bit scary in my own opinion, because this type of news is really, really bullish for crypto, but Bitcoin has barely fucking moved. It's only been going down. So if that's not a sign of either it's impending market weakness or maybe another leg down, I don't fucking know. I'm just a little skeptical right now, even though there's a lot of signals for this to be a bottom. Well, it's still possible for another leg down to 70K. So I'm just consider that situation. So let's look at this. It's official case dismissed. So yeah, I already said this, but Coinbase is getting not destroyed by the SEC anymore, which means that they're not going to get on their ass. This is going to be really bullish for the base chain. It's going to be very good for base AI projects and base meme coins because of this. But despite that, the base meme coins haven't even moved that much. So it's kind of a wishy-washy sort of thing right now. I'm not really sure if that's market weakness or the fuck it is, but I don't really like that. But let's look at this. The SEC. So yeah, I want to give you guys the exact quotes about the SEC's take on meme coins. So I was reading it earlier, but this is a pretty important passage. It is the division's view that transactions in the type of meme coins described in the statement do not involve the offer and sale of securities under the federal securities laws. As such, persons who participate in the offer and sale of meme coins do not need to register their transactions with the Commission under the Security Act of 1933 or fall within one of the Security Act's exemptions from registration. Or currently, neither meme coin purchasers nor holders are protected by the federal securities laws. Yeah, so again, this is giving a bit of arguments that it's possible that meme coins could be in a different tax bracket compared to other crypto, because crypto in the US, how it's taxed is it's treated as income tax, and essentially if you make like a shit ton of gains in it, like six figures and above, I think like above 250K, then they're gonna tax around like 40-50% of your gains, which is fucking insane here. And if meme coins, maybe they somehow get taxed less because they're not a security, that would be quite good. But I'm going to show you guys this next tweet. I feel retail doesn't understand market valuations. My Normie friend said he bought Pepe because it felt cool holding millions of coins. Not understanding $1 is implausible. Nvidia only costs $120 while one Bitcoin is 83K. Nvidia stock has split 6x now, which is a psychological market tactic. If Nvidia never split, the price of Nvidia share will be 67,000. Yeah, so this just shows that normal people, they don't understand how market cap works, and they just look at the price of an asset, and they don't realize that this price can be manipulated by the people who are behind these assets, especially with the supply. So like in meme coins, for example, they purposely make a shit ton of supply and relative to the value so that you can own a shit ton of tokens, but it doesn't even matter because the market cap is the real thing that matters, and it shows how much the price can be affected. And this guy thinks, a lot of people think that Pepe can go to $1. Pepe is like less than a cent, I think, but Pepe is already such a large meme coin that for it to do that with many multiples, it's not really possible, in my own opinion. Maybe it'll happen over the span of many years, but for now, no, not really. So people, they need to understand that unit bias is very attractive to retail, which is why a lot of altcoins follow this unit bias, especially like meme coins and some AI projects. But meme coins take advantage of it, and the ones that do unit bias will do good. And a good example of this is like Dogecoin, obviously, but also Toshi, when it's got listed on Coinbase. Like this one is a meme coin, right? But when it pumped from the lows, it did a 20x, and it was definitely attributed to because there's unit bias here where it costs literally less than a cent to buy one Toshi. So this definitely plays a part because retail thinks it's so cheap, and it just increases the sales effect for them. They're just thinking, oh, well, if this just is 100x, because these like to play these mind games that they anchor themselves to the price of the token. They think, oh my gosh, if it goes to $1, I'll be a millionaire or whatever, but they don't understand how the market cap works. So it's just something to look out for. So let's look at this. The AI agent trenches in Q4 2024 were far different than they are now. Back then, it was verifying the builder's chops to see if they could execute their plans. Now it's still that, plus verifying if there's a working product that actually helps make their lives easier. So yeah, he's talking about the AI narrative here, which I still think is going to be probably one of the biggest narratives alongside memes. I think it'll run first compared to memes still because of mindshare and its utility. But the AI agents here, so when we first had the little AI agent all season, so it was also the infra, which is the biggest projects where a lot of the liquidity will go to. But then there was also the smaller cap AI agents that were sending out of fucking nowhere 10x, 100x's from the ground. And the thing is that it's most likely not going to be like that the next time AI agents have another leg, or the whole AI sector. And it's most likely that the projects that kept on building, the big infrastructure that already has a lot of liquidity, will go up first and a lot more than the AI agents. And then for the smaller AI agents, well, I'm not sure, because as we all know that in this market, in the new AI narrative, well, the market's going to get more efficient over time, and a lot more liquidity is going to be attracted to the actual useful projects, and the dog shit projects that caught a lot of beds last time because of speculative value, they aren't most likely going to get as much of a bid. Maybe they'll be pumped again, but not that much. Is most likely going to be infra. But for the next leg for AI, well, we know that for sure infra is going to go, like the ones that have been building. So things like Audic, Ray, even good AI agents like AXPT, Virtuals. I'm trying to think of more, but a lot of these infrastructure projects will go up a lot because they've been building and they already captured a lot of that mind share. The smaller AI agents, they're on the bottom of the Ponzi scheme here of the AI sector, and they most likely won't catch that many bids, and most likely will not go super past all-time highs. I would say maybe they can go back if the speculative value gets crazy enough for the AI sector, but most likely there's going to be a new narrative that replaces it, or there's going to be better projects that come out where builders were building a project behind the scenes and haven't launched a token yet. These ones are the ones you want to look out for, because there's endless competition out there, especially for the AI sector. So it's not going to be like last time where you just look at AI agents and you think, oh, this one is kind of cool. No, you got to look for the ones that are actually useful, because AI agents, it's based off how useful them, and how useful it is eventually turns into attention for it, which gives it its value. So you got to play it different and not just ape everything you see and do this white paper trenching. Check if the project is actually useful. So let's look at this last one. Since people are starting to realize how bad this can be, markets hate uncertainty. So yeah, I covered this tweet a couple of days ago, but I want to cover it again. The real bear case for a Trump presidency that few are discussing, but some are starting to realize, is its extreme unpredictability. He operates on feelings over thought, making it hard to tell whether his actions are part of a plan or just a spur of the moment impulse. He also has a habit of over-promising and under-delivering, something common among politicians, but with him, it's always taken to extreme. For traders, it is a great environment for volatility, but for true believers, it's riskier than ever. Yep. So Donald Trump, well, we got to deal with this constant back and forth on these tariffs, by the way, and the markets. Uncertainty is probably one of the biggest things they hate. And as you guys can see in this market here, when it was into somehow of a distributive phase, well, this was a result of Donald Trump, or at least it's leg down. You could also say it's because of Donald Trump going back and forth, which built up an energy of uncertainty. And now it's breaking down on the downside because, well, is Donald Trump actually going to enact on his policies, or is he going to forget about crypto? Most likely he is going to talk about crypto like in the long term, but it's depending on the time frame. People on crypto Twitter, their time frame is very short compared to Donald Trump, or Donald Trump's time frame is many years for crypto, not many months, as I would say at max for a lot of people in the crypto Twitter space. So it depends on the time frame. He doesn't care about this price action right now. He cares about where the price action is many years from now, and if it's a higher price or not. And even if it wasn't Donald Trump anyways, crypto would most likely go up because of liquidity and because of the lack of government regulation on their spending. So they're going to spend like crazy to enact their policies, and Bitcoin will just infinitely go to an infinite price over time. It doesn't need Donald Trump's presidency, so it's a win-win for him. So he doesn't care about this price action right now. That's what you got to realize with Donald Trump. And a lot of the holders that can't really stomach that, well, they're going to have some emotional swings. And for this, you got to develop some control, or you can try to become a trader as well. But for most people, it's easier for them just to hold good projects or hold majors and then just let crypto do its thing here. So that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Just wanted to talk about the markets here, and currently, summary wise, looks like it's possible for another leg down just based off the daily candle close. I mean, that's the thesis supporting it for going down to 75K Bitcoin. Like, I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying it's possible, and it's a higher probability, and it's actually more probability for Bitcoin to have some sort of a rally from here, like maybe back to 90K, and then probably that would be some sort of resistance to the previous liquidation level, and then we could see it retest the lows again at 80s. But for now, don't get too horny yet. You just dollar cost average. And I would still say the best altcoins are still AI. I still think they're AI. The thesis has not changed at all. And yeah, I'll see you guys.